welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. And thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question for this week's personal readings. I've really loved connecting with your energy and hearing your thoughtful submissions, so thank you so much for that. And if you do enjoy today's video, please do give it a thumbs up, leave a comment and do consider subscribing if you haven't already. It really supports the channel and helps keep our energy flowing. If I am reading for you today, you'll find your timestamp in the description box below, so you can jump straight to your message. And if you're watching and would like to be featured in next week's video, the link to submit your question is also in the description as well. So this is now a regular slot, which I'm really excited about, and to keep offering these deeper, more personal readings with you. But let's dive in and see what Spirit has to share today. Love and light. So first up, we have the lovely Anne Franklin on the list. So thank you so much for your question, and I know that we're looking at your specific person today who you've been dealing with for some time, and thank you so much for laying out your question so clearly. Just to go over, give a bit of detail. I know that we saw that he was still in two of wands energy, sorry, last time that we looked at his energy. And also the Five of Cups, which was kind of new. There was this introduction of sadness and kind of regret that we saw, yeah. And I know that you'd like to explore this a bit further. The first half of your question, so what is he truly seeking or feeling beneath the surface in this connection? So let's pull that first. Oh, that's jumping out. I'm not going to look at it until I pull them all. The Eight of Wands that we saw as well, which was like that forward movement. It was like fireworks in that particular deck that we used. So you ask, as the Eight of Wands suggests forward movement, what might his next steps towards me look like? So how is that Eight of Wands really going to manifest really in the 3D spirit? And then finally, divine timing we're looking at. We did have the Wheel of Fortune in the past, you're absolutely right, which is unfolding. But what might be aligning behind the scenes that you don't yet see? You're asking, Anne. So let's pull a card for that. So Spirit, what might be aligning behind the scenes that Anne doesn't yet see? And then I felt kind of drawn today to pull an oracle card for everyone. So I'm also going to do that. This is like a bonus card. So Spirit, a surprise bonus message for Anne with regard to this connection. Anything else that we need to know? Please bring that forward now. Okay. First placement. What is he truly seeking or feeling beneath the surface in this connection? Nine of Emotions, traditional deck, Nine of Cups. Emotional fulfillment is what he is seeking in this connection. And this feels positive. The Nine of Cups is inherently a beautiful energy. Nines will always have, interestingly, they're a very spiritual number in numerology. And I know that what comes through to me almost is like that there's this spiritual aspect of it which he's trying to resolve as well. But ultimately the Nine of Emotions is also about wishes coming true, emotional fulfillment, contentment. And I feel like this is how he sees you actually as well. I feel like this is a symbol of you rather than him, is what I see. And that you're almost, there's like you're circled by these kind of beautiful shells, beautiful almost like portals of energy, or something that represents emotional fulfillment. We have the genie lamp here. Again, wishes. We rub the genie lamp for a wish come true. But there's something also like hidden a bit about you as well, that maybe you feel kind of just out of reach because of obstacles maybe that he's put in place that have come from him rather than you. There could also be a mysterious quality about you, which I feel like he is drawn to, pulled in. He sees your emotional depth, is what I feel as well. But that kind of mysterious hidden qualities that has a double message there through his own kind of distance that he's creating, but also what he's also drawn into is this mysterious quality that you possess. But yes, in answering what is he truly seeking is emotional fulfillment, contentment, satisfaction, at peace. This is a very peaceful card as well. And the 9 comes right before the 10, which is the 10 is that completion card. The 10 is always like kind of like the pinnacle, the when you have arrived. So that's what and here you are symbolized as that person to him, which is why that he's had such a difficulty letting you go, releasing you. Your energy feels very present still to him. This is what you represent to him, and he knows that this is kind of an opportunity for emotional fulfillment within this. Let's move on to get the rest of the picture. The second placement, like we say, after the back of the 8 of Wands, which you suggest about the forward movement. What might this actually physically look like or manifest as? Spirit, let us know. What steps towards you? Or 2 of inspiration, or in the traditional deck 2 of Wands, so more Wands. That 2 of Wands that keeps coming through, doesn't it, for him, which is looking to the future, imagining a future together for you and him. And this card particularly, though, feels like it's like a breakthrough moment for him, because I always see this wall of, it's literally a wall in a way, this card, but it's like that there's a blankness, and maybe that's what you feel like you've been dealing with, the stagnation, the wall that the kind of blocks and the walls and the obstacles that he's put up here, represented by this just kind of overwhelming white space. And then punctured through that wall is this very fiery, passionate, the opposite of this white wall, yeah? Fire, passion, desire, feelings. And then the telescope, which represents about looking to the future, planning again. So this tells us really that this 8 of Wands, how will the next step towards you look like, is planning the future and having some kind of breakthrough in that area where the feelings, maybe the depth of emotion, the steps towards following his heart's desires, and the loosening almost, I feel like, of these obstacles which he's put in place. I'm going to pull one more card because I am nosy, because we've had this 2 of Wands as well. Spirit is doubling down. Tell us more, Spirit, just about this action. Sorry if you can hear banging. That is the renovations that are going on in the house. One more card, Spirit, on this, please. Just tell us a little bit more about this. 4 of Voices, 4 of Swords. This is like him daydreaming about you, thinking about you. The petals here represent the kind of romantic thoughts. I feel like this card always, to me, it's like in his downtime that his thoughts drift to you. You know, he might stay busy through work, through his daily obligations, whatever they might be, but in these kind of downtimes, the thoughts of you sneak back in, yeah? So we can't shake that, which is what's pushing this ultimately, where the heart's desires win over the logical mind, I guess. Let's go on to this final card, which is, you asked here, what might be aligning behind the scenes that you don't see yet with this divine timing, Wheel of Fortune. The 10 of Voices, the end of suffering, the end of the pain. Maybe this has become quite painful for you, Anne. Maybe it's become quite painful for him as well. The 10 of Voices is when the worst has happened, and we spoke about how the 10 again, you know, here that it was the 9 building up to the 10 of emotions. Here we have arrived with the 10 of Voices, or the 10 of Swords, which is the end of a particular cycle in this connection. So this is what's aligning behind the scenes. I see, Anne, is the end of the suffering, the end of the painful chapter in this connection, and moving on to an Ace of a different energy, movement, change, you know, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands, something different, something more positive. Because I think, yeah, these setbacks there's no betrayal necessarily that I feel here, but there's maybe, it's like, you know, when it's like lots of little cuts almost of forward movement, steps back, that each time that's happened, that's kind of caused pain and some suffering. And then there feels like some self-inflicted pain and suffering that he's put on himself as well. But the 10 of Voices says this is the end of this chapter, the end of this cycle. The worst is over. That's the message of the 10 of Voices, is the worst is over. So that's what you don't see, is that there is some kind of, end of suffering with this chapter. Let's see what your bonus card is, Anne. Oh, look at this. How lovely. Mermaid's love. That's you two. That's your energy. That's connection. Mermaid's love as well is two people as well, like with that mermaid element of someone coming from maybe different backgrounds, different worlds, coming together and finding love and finding union. So maybe, I don't know if that's the spiritual element where you said that, you know, that you didn't align if you're from different backgrounds or different spiritual outlooks and viewpoints. That feels like it's really commenting on this. But there is undoubtedly this union, this love connection that has come through, and that's what's going on here. So there's confirmation with that, and because it has that mermaid, that water element, I'm drawn to sort of pull this in, how that connects to this 9 of emotions, almost like you have that mermaid mysterious quality that this 9 of emotions said as well. But ultimately two people from different worlds who have this strong bond and connection that overrides those differences. So that really feels like a powerful message there to end on, Anne. I hope this reading did resonate for you. Please let me know how it did, what kind of jumped out for you in the comments if you feel drawn to, and please do give me a thumbs up. But thank you so much for your beautiful question as always. It's been lovely to read for you. Catch up soon. Love and light. Hey Lola, thank you so much for your question and welcome to your reading. So just to go over your question, you want to look at the current feelings and next actions of Joey. So I'm just going to shuffle the cards and we'll get into it and see what comes through. I understand that you're currently in a no contact situation. So let's initially see what Joey's current feelings are with the first placement. Spirit, please bring through Joey's current emotions for Lola. Second card placement, we're going to have a look at next actions for Joey. towards you, obviously. Then I'm going to take a sneak peek into the future energies. And then finally today, I felt very drawn to pull an oracle card for everyone. So this is going to be just a bonus card comment from Spirit. Spirit, please tell us anything else we need to know about this situation between Joey and Lola. Thank you. Okay, first placement, current feelings from Joey towards you. The Three of Materials. I feel like we've had very similar energy before in the past, maybe not specifically this card. Three of Materials, few messages here for you, Lola. Three of Materials is ultimately coming from a place of still having feelings about wanting to work this out and work this through. We have a common goal here together. But I really feel strongly here as well that there is, because it is a 3, and I know in the past there has been that third party energy, that still lingers and that still is in the mix and is causing delays, blockages, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I almost feel like Joe's intentions are good. There are still feelings here for you. He still wants to work it out, but there is this third party person who is dominating the situation. I'm going to pull one more on this. Yeah, Page of Materials. So this is what I felt as well with this, like more materials again. It's like good intentions going in the right direction. Page of Materials is like that you still have this connection here, like-minded people. There is a soul connection here that is coming through, and the Page of Materials moves very slowly though, to the point where I feel like this is that Joey feels kind of stuck, kind of trapped in this third party with this other person's energy who's coming through here. Okay, I'm hearing the sentence stuck in the mud. It's when this is earth energy, materials. Okay, it's normally pentacles in the tradition of the deck, and this is the element of earth. And it's when things have moved so slowly sometimes with the Page of Materials. This is the downside. The feelings are genuine, the actions are genuine, but it can move so slowly that, yeah, it's like that feeling of getting stuck in the mud. The energy feels heavy, it feels stagnant, it feels slow moving. Let's see what else. So what will kind of change? When will the breakthrough come? What will it look like, Spirit? Next actions. We have the Queen of Emotions. So this feels like positive movement actually, because the Queen of Emotions is where we move into more of a sense of flow. The Queen of Emotions is reflective of the depth of emotion and feeling between you. The Queen of Emotions is kind of like the Queen of Love and Romance, really, because Cups are the closest representation to love, romance in the deck, and this is the Queen. So this could suggest that Joey's emotions for you will drive him more towards you, and will shift him out of this stuck in the mud kind of energy. One more, please, Spirit. The Queen of Emotions, the only sort of, say, shadow side of the Queen of Emotions is that it can be overwhelming. The Queen of Emotions, it's like we have these big feelings and we need to manage them, and we need to not be overwhelmed by our feelings. But there we go, the Sun, the happiest card in the deck. So this is going to be good news for you, Lola. This is going to be a happy shift, a happy change. You may be feeling emotionally feeling better, because the Queen of Emotions, I feel like this is connected to your energy, like how Joey sees you as this Queen of Emotions. And yeah, there being a sense of flow that returns, there being an emotional shift, Joey being kind of driven by his feelings for you to make movement towards you, and the happiness, also without denying it with the sun here, the happiness that that will bring. It's going to make you feel good, Lola. So that's a nice shift to see. I'm really happy to see that come through. This is a peek into the future of where we're heading. To materials, some ups and downs, which probably would be expected, okay? Some high moments, but some tricky low moments, because maybe this third party energy needs to be cycled out, okay? Needs to be, if he's making steps towards you, if there's a reconnection happening here, then the two materials, there's just that kind of, as we reconcile, or as our energy, as we come back into each other's lives, there's going to be some ups and downs about trying to get on an even keel with this, some big highs, and then maybe some anxiety and some lower moments. It's completely normal and completely natural to see this. The advice when we see the two materials to get through this period, we must aim to stay grounded and to stay centered. Again, it's almost a little bit like this Queen of Emotions. It's easy to get overwhelmed at this time, and we need to do everything we can not to let things spin off its axis. Let's have a look what this final Oracle bonus card message is for you. Lovely. No rain today, Lola. A happiness again. No rain today. The sun comes out from behind the clouds. This sun energy again, Lola. This is confirmation. This is spirit doubling down. This is positive change. This is you two, your energies, some kind of reunited reconciliation that's happening. And there's and it's going to feel really good, I think, then when this happens. And if things do get a bit, which I do foresee, there being a bit of a not straightforward path, don't let that throw you off too much. Ride that out, okay? We're going to have to ride the wave when that happens, and try not to freak out when it does. And enjoy this no rain today, the happy moments, lean into them. I feel like this is you kind of feeling more at peace and happy and joyful. And then this feels like it's more Joey's energy that is contentment and has more peacefulness and a stillness about him. So he's probably feeling clearer about the way forward, and is relieved as well to be out of that stuck in the mud energy, because I feel like he's fighting to get out of the sticky situation. It's literally a bit like sinking sand for him. So that was your reading. I hope it resonated, Lola. Please let me know how it did in the comments below, and drop me a like. But thank you so much for submitting your question and choosing me as your reader. Love and light. Catch up soon. Hey Chanley, my love. Welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for submitting your question. Let's get into it. I know that you said after your last reading that you took more to get into your self-grounding energy, so that's awesome. And you'd like to know this time spirit guidance on how to get more focused on being connected, as I understand your question, to your higher self, and in alignment on your spiritual journey. And I think you asked the question, how does one person get the earthling, which I think you mean kind of grounded and earthed. I hope I'm understanding that right, but I trust that whatever spirit brings through today is meant for you. So how do you get more focused on being connected to your higher self? I did feel like when I was reading for tapping into your energy, Channy, that you put maybe a lot of pressure on yourself to be spiritually connected or to come from your higher self. And I feel like that there's just something maybe about putting a little bit too much pressure on yourself, which I feel to be something that you feel is missing, but I feel like you're actually already doing everything that you can, but maybe you always feel like you should be doing more. And this is probably maybe taking you away from your spiritual connection in a way, or your higher self, then what we kind of need to do is be more still and slow down. And I feel like you think you should, maybe let me know in the comments if I'm right, always feel like you should be doing more, that maybe it's never enough. That was what came through from Spirit, just intuitively. But let's see what the cards say, see if they confirm this. I'm sure they'll have more messages to say as well, but okay. How can you get more focused on being connected to your higher self? Second card. How do you align on your spiritual journey? And then finally, how do you get grounded? I think this is what you were asking. It's a good question, whatever. And I also felt very drawn to pull an oracle card today for everyone. So I'm just pulling a bonus oracle message for everyone. Spirit, any final messages that Chani needs to know today? Please bring that through. Thank you. Okay, let's take a look. How do we get focused, connecting to our higher self? Page of Inspiration. Look how explosive that the energy is. Full of colour, full of vibrancy. Page of Inspiration. This is Wands in the traditional deck. And the page is the moment before inspired action. So kind of what I was touching on before about needing to, that drive to kind of do more and more, which is coming from a good place. I feel it's almost like about being sort of spiritually ambitious and wanting to you know, be aligned with our higher self kind of at all times, which is a great place to be. But the page is that where we are in assessment of a situation, and what we are doing in this page of inspiration, this assessment period, we're looking at what works, we're looking at what doesn't, and trying to release, and what doesn't, release habits that don't work for us, release people that don't work for us. And I know you've done a lot of that, Chani, already. You have released people who have drained your energy. So that was, you've created that space, and there's something now about just allowing to hold space whilst we wait for inspired action. So this is very much from the manifesting process, so that would come from Abraham Hicks. It's like when you think that you need to do more, do less. It feels counterintuitive. And inspired action is when it's not about do, it's about waiting for the small action, or it could be a big action, but it comes from a different kind of place. It comes from our higher self. And it's called inspired action because it can just be, you could almost just do nothing for a very long time and then just make one strategic inspired move. And that can change everything. You will capitalize on an opportunity. You will move forward on your spiritual path. Things will open up for you. You'll manifest what you desire, yeah? So I feel like that's how you get focused in being in touch with your higher self, is waiting for those messages, creating the space, holding the space for those inspired messages that come from spirit, that come from your higher self and what we call, you may have heard of this, where it's like a download. And it's something that you just know sort of in your bones is the right move. Our intuition will always keep us right, okay? Will always guide us right. And it's the noise and the ego or the anxiety that gets in the way of those inspired actions and those messages from our higher self. And the page is someone who is not necessarily, you know, this person is inspired, they're full of color and vibrancy, but they're kind of in this like yoga stretch, they seem to be. It's like they're just kind of chilling with their cats. They're feeling inspired, but there is a relaxed energy almost about this, and they're just waiting for the right signal. They're just waiting for the green light from the universe. They're waiting for the download. They're waiting for the sign and the message. And until that happens, their job, your job, Chanley, is to chill and to do the things that you enjoy, to do creative pursuits maybe as well with all this colour. It speaks to me about creativity. The inspiration or wands is doing things that we enjoy kind of just for the sake of doing them as well. It doesn't have to have, you know, a spiritual growth aspect or about, you know, pushing ourselves. It's just about doing things that we enjoy. If you like to paint, or if you create in some way, poetry, writing, or music, or but you can be creative in maybe just making your space, your house nicer, you know, like that can be a creative outlet project, but just doing something that you enjoy. So I hope that makes sense. Let's see what the second placement brings us, which is more about your spiritual journey and your spiritual path. Justice, Major Arcana. So there are big shifts already happening or happening on there in the near future for you with this Chanley. Can you see how you've talked about this for, again, that coming up like shedding an old skin here. There seems to be third eye energy that is opening as well. Maybe you feel like that's already happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like you did have a sense of that your third eye energy is opening, or that you're in the process. That's what's coming in. Justice as well is maybe there's a situation that has caused you some kind of unrest and something that has been an injustice to you. And this feels connected to your spiritual path and journey, that about getting justice for yourself in regards to that. And I think you'll know in your heart of hearts when I say this what that is. Okay, something that like a deep wound that you've carried, something it could even be you don't feel quite there yet, that you've achieved this sense of justice with regards to this situation. Maybe that's what drives you so hard with wanting to align with on your spiritual path and connect to your higher self. Maybe that's what justice would look like to you, to be able to release that pain from the past, that sense of injustice. So maybe ask yourself as well, just check in, what would justice look like to you? What would justice feel like to you? Has this pain from the past, this injustice, still got a hold on you and is driving you maybe a bit too hard? You will get there. It will happen. You are in the process of that. You are shedding an old skin. You have kind of evolved and had many changes as a person, I think, over the years. And that will continue. Something about old pain being released and finding justice for yourself in a situation as well. It will happen at some point along the line. That's part of your spiritual journey, okay? Final question, how does a person get grounded? It's an interesting question. 7 of materials, so this is earth, which is very grounded energy. And the 7 of Pentacles, interestingly, it's like another kind of assessment card. We look past on what we've done, what worked, what didn't. So we stay grounded by not wasting our energy on people, places, things that don't serve us, that didn't work, giving to people that drains us, that's a waste of our energy. We don't, that kind of ungrounds us, yeah, it takes us away from ourselves. And this woman here is very intently planting roses, so it's like she's doing the practical work as well. So we stay grounded as well by being consistent, we make progress by being consistent, and we stay grounded by showing up and sticking to our habits and our rituals and our commitments. So if that was, say, meditating, we do that every day. If that's cleansing our aura, you know, we kind of, it's like brushing your teeth, you know, the habitual habit of we brush our teeth morning and night, yeah, that keeps our teeth clean. How do we stay grounded? We do the things that keep us grounded, which can be different for everyone. It could be journaling, it could be meditating, it can be walking in nature, it can be just sitting with ourselves for 15 minutes and listening to that, our body and what it's trying to tell us. How are we today? Greeting ourselves and saying, what do I need to know? Holding crystals, you know, intently grounding our energy. You can listen to grounding energy sounds as well, like a grounding sound bath, a certain frequency to our root chakras, you know, whatever kind of does it for you, but you know the things that keep us grounded. And it's all just about, it can be quite boring in some ways, which is what a lot of people don't talk about. To make progress and to stay grounded, it's just about being consistent and habitual and doing it and doing something every day. It's not a big dramatic gesture, it's the small little things. And someone I know once told me that, you know, patience is a superpower and it's very undervalued, patience as well, and that people give up and kind of read into too much on if something doesn't happen immediately. They think, oh, this isn't meant for me, this is never going to happen for me. Where if they were just patient and stuck with it, then they would find that actually, in fact, it is for them and it will happen. But everything just generally takes many things can take longer than what us humans kind of in the world that we live in now, in an instant gratification kind of world, want things to happen. Let's have a look at your bonus card, Chanley, your oracle card. Under my umbrella, protecting your energy. That's what that says to me. It's a little bit uncomfortable, this position that you're in, Chanley, as well. But you are clinging and you are holding on tight to your true self, your true spirit, this beautiful, vibrant pink bird that, you know, you are so driven to grow and to learn and to fly. I feel like you want to fly, and whatever that means to you. And this is your kind of another part of you that is holding on very tightly to this. Maybe situations in life have tried to pull you away from this. People may have tried to pull you away from this, but you have held on really tight over, you know, throughout your life, I feel like, Chanley, and protected this very important part of yourself. And you will continue to do that. Spirit is acknowledging that that's what you've done, and it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy to do that. But you will get to fly because of that. So don't give up, okay? Don't give up. Hold on. So Chanley, that was your reading. I hope it resonated for you. Please let me know in the comments how it did, if it did. And give me a thumbs up if you did enjoy this reading. But thank you so much for choosing me as your reader. Love and light, and I'll catch up with you soon. Hey Tej, my love, and welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for submitting your question. Let's get into it. So I know we're looking at Siddharth's energy, his current feelings towards you, and also about if he was thinking about you on his birthday. So we'll dig into that. And then we're also I'm doing 3 cards for everyone here this reading, so we'll look at future energies as well and check in. I know you're currently in a blocked situation. So, Spirit, please tell us, what are Siddharth's current feelings towards Tej? Second card, specifically going into if he thought about you on his birthday. And then let's have a look at future energies. What's coming in down the line for Siddharth and Tej, please? And then I felt they were drawn today to pull an oracle card for everyone. So I will pull one for you as well, Tej. Just anything else that you need to know about this situation, okay? Just leaving this fully up to Spirit to bring through additional messages. Okay, first placement, Siddharth's current feelings towards you. Oof, we have the Major Arcana, the Empress. Some powerful energy here, Tej. The Empress is a beautiful energy, a beautiful card. The Empress is the embodiment of all the queens together. And the Empress is, I always have this message, particularly with this deck. I think that it came from this deck, that the Empress has a universe inside of her. So a lot of depth, a lot of experience, a lot to offer, okay? So there's a lot of positive feelings towards you here. I know we are in this block situation. I'm actually going to pull a card specifically because, you know, this is so positive. The energy towards you, his feelings towards you. So what's the block, Spirit? Three of emotions. Sometimes this can indicate, Tej, a third party situation. That there is someone else, with it being a 3, so it brings that 3 energy into this dynamic. So this tells me that there could be someone else in the picture that is pulling Siddharth's energy away from you. That's where his focus is in this no contact situation. So it's not that his feelings are that you are seen in a good light, a positive light here. Amazing energy with this Empress. But the complication, the block, is the 3 of emotions is when we feel pulled emotionally in different directions, often with this card. It doesn't matter about gender with this, say, being a female, but this is, say, Siddharth's energy, that it's like pulled in 3 different directions, if that makes sense as well. And I think that's what's going on here. So that's something, if that resonates with you, that's something to be aware of, but that's what Spirit is bringing in and to letting us know. That's often the case, you know, when someone goes quiet on us, when there's maybe not really any valid reason for it, why things could be, maybe you had a good connection and then it went quiet, and then, you know, if someone ghosts us or their energy's in out, it's often more than not the case that it is because there's someone else in the picture. Let's specifically look like, though, did he think about you on his birthday? The Ace of Materials. So the Ace of Materials is about new feelings, new beginnings. I mean, I don't do yes, no questions, which you know that. But how I would interpret this, of what this comes through, is aces being about kind of fresh starts and new beginnings. And this is the energy that was surrounding Siddharth on his birthday. Materials as well is about, it's often a practical shift. So maybe something about, he was, I would say, I think he was in quite a reflective mood and energy. Can you see how this person's eyes are closed, which tells me that they're reflecting inward, and that there's something about what they want is a new beginning and a fresh start. They want more growth because there's all these flowers and nature sort of blooming around this person. So that's all I would comment on that. I would say that they are ready for a new beginning and want to do new things, go new places, or make some kind of fresh start is what I'm hearing. And then future energies, let's see what that brings between you. Oof, another major arcana, so some powerful energies here. And the Chariot is forward movement, being pulled energetically, so there is some change coming in this dynamic. A sense of moving forward, a sense of progress. Look at these horses charging along, pulling this woman in a powerful direction. I always see this as like the train gets on a track and it's like woof, you know, there's some powerful forward momentum here. So that would say that this connection will move forward in some way, and with it being a major arcana as well, that's a significant shift. Maybe this third party energy will move out and that can create movement for you. Let's see what this oracle card says from Spirit's final message for you. Secrets. Maybe this to me touches back on that there's a lot going on behind the scenes, Tej, that maybe that you don't see. There's stuff to unlock that isn't possible for you to do yet, like you maybe haven't got the full picture of what you're dealing with, so maybe that's why you feel confused, that's why you feel shut out. And this again, this third party situation, which maybe is, let me know if that resonates, that could be a missing piece to this picture, or certainly that his energy is being pulled in a different direction. He's being pulled in different directions. And there's the secrets being the stuff that you don't know and can't see what's going on behind the scenes, which is blocked this connection, that has blocked the movement and the change. So I hope that resonated, Tej. Please let me know in the comments if it did. Please drop me a like. But thank you so much for choosing me to be your reader, and I will catch up with you soon. Love and light. Hello, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for your question. And you asked today, so what are my spirit team or the universe doing behind the scenes for me that they want me to know about? Which is an interesting question. So let's have a look. So Spirit, please can you tell Hello what is going on behind the scenes that they can't see, that they're not aware of? And I'm being pulling 3 cards for everyone. So I'll pull those energies, what's going on behind the scenes. And then the third placement, I'm going to say, how will this impact you? You know, what kind of change will come about from what's going on behind the scenes? And also felt drawn for everyone today to pull an oracle card. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise in the background. That is renovations that are happening. I hope it's not too disruptive. Spirit, any final messages for hello that they need to know today, please, Spirit? Okay, so what are your spirit team? What's happening behind the scenes? Knight of Inspiration. Ooh, and then the Five of Inspiration. And where is this leading? To the Page of Inspiration. So many wands, hello. So many wands, which is really interesting to me. All fire energy. Fire energy is action, our heart's desires, movement. So if you felt stagnation in the present energy of what you're going through, what Spirit wants you to know, behind the scenes there is a hell of a lot of movement going on. Okay, it's all movement, it's all kicking up the dust and change. The Knight of Inspiration has this explosive energy. I'm also seeing that mirrored here in the Page of Inspiration, both explosive energy, which will bring in change, which will bring in movement. This horse that has a mane of flames that is charging ahead. And the area of the Knight of Inspiration, or the Knight of Wands, is like I touched on, kind of our heart's desires and our passions. So what do you feel, what is your heart's desire at the moment? Hello, what is this sort of that fire, really, I suppose, in you? What does that desire, what changed are you kind of desperate to feel and see, and that you feel ready for, and maybe it hasn't quite translated into 3D? I feel like this is very reassuring, that there's a hell of a lot of, like I say, a hell of a lot of movement and action from your spirit team that are working hard to bring this in. It's already yours, it's already coming in, it's just a matter of time. And when you, and what it's connected to is to that kind of deep wish, deep desire, something maybe even that you feel like you shouldn't do or are not deserving of, or it's not something that is logical, it's something deeply emotional and almost primal about something that you want, which feels very interesting, specific message. Hope that resonates. Now we have the Five of Inspiration as well, which is about, there's a few sort of disagreements here within your spirit team as well, I think, maybe about what is the best way to bring this in for you. The Five of Inspiration is when there is no real harm done in these disagreements, okay, but it's like trying to get on the same page, being pulled in different directions. Maybe you feel a little bit confused as well about what you really want. So that's something that you could work on to help your spirit team, through meditation, visualization, journaling, however you want to do it, or just sitting with yourself and tapping into listening to your higher self, really, about being honest, I think, with what you really want, getting specific as well about what you want, and how you don't have to worry actually about the how it happens. That's spirit's job, but you do need to be clear about and honest with yourself about what it is that you do want. I feel that would help your spiritual team, who there's a bit of a tug of war somewhere here, maybe that resonates in you, that is, and your spirit team is feeling those repercussions, if that makes sense. Now, with it being a 5 as well, it is the promise that this will blow over relatively quickly. It's not a huge issue, it will pass, but that's what's happening now, so that's why that's come through. And then we have the Page of Inspiration, which is just more of the same in many ways. It's about, this came through for someone else actually today as well, and it has a very creative energy, a very passionate energy, all of that one stuff. And the page of inspiration to me is about waiting for those inspired moments that if you're listening, and if you're still enough and hold space for your spirit team will provide you the inspired action. So it's not about working yourself to the bone. It's just about actually making the key movements, making the key choices and the key actions when they present themselves to you, and listening to your higher self, listening to your spirit team, waiting for those downloads, and then reacting, making those moves. But in between those times, it's our job to actually chill out, to bring in a sense of ease, to do the things that we just do for pleasure, do some yoga, chill with our cats, whatever your version is of that. And that will help bring in this movement and change. I do feel like that you feel the stagnation, and the main message here from Spirit is that there's anything but stagnation going on for them. Final message. Sleeping Beauty's dream. Interesting. Sleeping Beauty here that is surrounded by a rose, you know, a thicket of rose bushes, wasn't it? That's what stopped anyone getting to her. I feel like this is the stagnation that you feel, a bit like with this Sleeping Beauty's dream, that maybe you feel that you are just wishing and hoping, and there's almost like a being asleep energy, and a stagnation. So maybe try to challenge that in yourself as well, about again being kind of honest with yourself about what you want, and not giving up, because this Sleeping Beauty, like, she's kind of fallen asleep, but it feels a bit like that could be in a giving up way, in a shutting down way, because of past disappointments, maybe of fear that it might not happen. There's a sense that we need to stay awake and be ready for the opportunity here, hello, because it is coming, it is on its way to you. So we need to be ready, and we need to be ready to capitalize on that opportunity. So I hope that resonated. Please let me know in the comments if it did, how it did. And please do give me a thumbs up. But thank you so much for letting me read for you today, and I will catch up with you soon. Love and light. Hey Nat Nat, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for submitting your question. So let's get into it. And your question is, guidance from my friendship with David. He's reaching out, but I'm keeping my distance due to his connection, which I think you mean with his existing connection that he has going along at the moment. I want to be there for him, but setting boundaries as well. Yeah, sounds good. And it's hard to walk that line. So let's get into it and see what's going on. So guidance, please, Spirit, for Nat Nat with this friendship with David. Please bring some advice through. I'm going to take that card. I'm doing 3 cards for everyone, and then a bonus oracle card as well, Nat Nat. So we'll see. I'm going to ask what's going on for him specifically with this. Where's he at with it? The future, where is this going? And then we'll pull this bonus oracle card, just to leave it open to Spirit to let us know anything else that you need to know about this situation with David. Okay, Nat Nat? So Spirit, please give us a final message. Okay. So, first up, first placement, guidance about this. Major Arcana. It's a strong connection, isn't it? It's a strong pull. And the Moon card, it's not clear. We only have our intuition to guide us on this. I feel like it's not going to... It hasn't been straightforward up to this point. It isn't quite clear what's going on. It's not like something from Spirit is hiding from us, you know, from you, about what's going on for this connection. The Moon is like, has very much kind of High Priestess energy, which is about really sort of coming from this from a intuitive level. There's a lot of room here when this energy comes through, when we see the Moon as well, to because we've got missing pieces, missing chunks of information. We don't know where this is going. We don't know the way forward. There's a lot of chance for our insecurities to really take over here. The Moon will illuminate the path. In time, things will become clear. What is your intuition is trying to tell you something, Nat Nat, about this. This woman here, which is you, this is your energy, needing to surrender to the Moon's energy and the power of the Moon, which is connected to the divine feminine, our intuition. Being able to see in the dark when we don't have all the information, but our intuition can has the power to pick things up nonetheless. Yeah, like if something feels off, or if this feels like that there's more to this situation, we need to dig deeper, we need to follow it like a thread. Yes, like if you think, I have the image of a thread through the dark that we're slowly moving along. But yeah, there is a lot hidden here, and it doesn't feel like the light is going to come out on this situation anytime soon. We're going to have to work from an intuitive place and follow that piece of string in the dark. But let's see what the rest of the cards say, okay? Where's he at was this placement. Another Major Arcana. Reiterates the power of this connection, okay, which is maybe why you have still held on to this connection, why he still held on to this connection. The Fool card is wanting to, there's a bit of risk taker energy here. Maybe that's because of his existing connection as well, okay. He's kind of playing with fire here a little bit with you, Nat Nat. I think because of his feelings, and maybe there's some fear about, he kind of knows that the existing connection that he has probably won't be happy about maybe the connection that he has with you, but he's feeling there's kind of a reckless energy here with the Fool card, and wanting to take some risks here. That's where he's at with it. He's kind of, maybe it's not to him, maybe he feels like it's not the wisest decision, but he is in that frame of mind where he feels this connection with you, and he's in a taking risks mindset, which is interesting. Let's see if we can get a glimpse into the future then from Spirit. You know, we understand we are in the dark. Our intuition is all that we have with this. Listen to that. Those gut instincts, Nat Nat. That's what's all. There's no sort of right or wrong thing to do here. But we need to kind of look within and listen to that voice to keep us right. It will never take you wrong if you listen to that intuitive voice. But let's see what the future brings. I'm interested. And then we have 4 of Inspiration, which is kind of a significant milestone, which is more it is more, you know, it's a 4 is about stability. You see this sort of piece of foundation here, some ground that you will find, what you'll, in this connection, you will find somewhere to stand on this connection. It's a celebration card as well, so it feels good. It feels that we're moving into a good energy. The sun, you know, that like this has been illuminated now, yeah, in time, which we did know that it will happen, that will shift. There will be light shone on this situation. And you will move into a more stable energy with David. Okay, something will begin to form and it will begin to make more sense. And we have a piece, a foundation, a piece of earth, something grounded to sit on here, to stand together on, to be connected on. It's a very positive card, this, very loving energy. It is the card of marriage. I just put that out there just to let you know. It's a card of commitment. It's a card of marriage. So that's kind of a curveball in this connection to see, but I will just channel the message of what Spirit has to say. We're actually going, things feel very tenuous now. Things feel risky. Things feel insecure. And, you know, kind of we're in freefall. It's wide open. This is a much more stable energy. This is a card of commitment. Let's see what this oracle card says, your bonus final messages. The gift. This connection is a gift, ultimately, is what I feel like. That's what Spirit wants you to know. Something about timing, potentially, as well, because this is, can you see how this is like a Christmas card? So this, I don't generally do timelines, but obviously I don't block any messages that come through. I feel like that you could be closer and in a stronger connection here by Christmas. This is definitely a couple here, okay, and the gift is the connection. Now, I do want to leave this open for, I would say that you will be in a connection, in a relationship, say December time, by December time. Maybe with David, I will, you know, because I don't do yes no questions, I will leave it open that it could be with someone else. But either way, however things go with David, you'll be in some kind of committed connection by Christmas. So let me know how that resonates, Nat Nat. If it did resonate, which bits jump out to you, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. But thank you so much for choosing me as your reader. But love and light, and I will catch up with you soon. Hey Kuntry, my love, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for submitting your question. I did get your updated message, so thanks for letting me know on that. I'm pulling 3 cards for everyone and a bonus oracle card, which I felt drawn to today. So let's get into it. I know that you're wanting to look at this connection with DJ. And that there's a strong connection here, yeah? But lately, you say, but lately, communication has lessened, and you needing some advice. Should you kind of stay with this? Should you move on? Are you wasting your time, you ask? Or is this just a rough patch? So let's see what's going on for him. Okay? So first off, I'm just going to ask for a general about this connection and what's going on, with that, okay? Then I want to dig into what's really going on him? And then what will the future bring? And then let's bring in this oracle card, which I'm just going to leave in an open placement. Anything that Spirit wants you to know about this connection, about you and DJ. Spirit, please, any final messages? Bonus message for Kuntry. Okay, first one. So general guidance, what's going on about this connection? Oof, Muse of Emotions or King of Cups this is in the traditional deck Kuntry. Emotions are running high. There are a lot of emotions here, like you said, that you feel, you know, this is someone like you've never met before. You know as well that there are big feelings from him as well. So there's love on both sides, yeah? This is you and him, is what I see. And there's a lot of mirroring going on here, yeah? There's a lot of emotions. There's so much emotion going on here that it's overflowing. Can you see how it's like spilling out of the heart space here? It's like the drinking in the feelings. And then it's like sort of pouring out of them. And that's what the King of Cups, Queen of Cups kind of energy is all about. There is this learning to sort of contain the feelings here is what's the difficult part, the shadow side of the Muse of Emotions. There can be so much feeling in this connection that it can become overwhelming and cause issues in and of itself because it's scary, yeah? And it involves a lot of kind of guts, courage, emotional intelligence, sort of bravery in a way, and like willingness to make ourselves vulnerable. Which, you know, all in theory sounds like, yes, of course I would do that. But often when we're confronted with that, this probably is more him than you, Kuntry. I'm not saying that this is, but tell you what resonates with that, you know. It's very easy to get into our own stuff and our own triggers when we meet someone that we feel very deeply about, and fall in love is actually really quite terrifying. So that's what's going on, and you're dead on and spot on, and that's confirming with Spirit to say it's not the issues that are going on here is certainly not a lack of emotion. It's almost like that is the issue, if that makes sense. Second one, tell us, digging into more of DJ's energy. Four of Voices, daydreaming about you. Four of Voices, this is, see all these rose petals here. Romantic feelings still, very much. Trying to distract themselves, like, you know, what it's the down times that they daydream about you, find themselves thinking of you. I would say they are being avoidant and are not taking action on this because of this vulnerability and overwhelming of feeling. Can you see even just how, you know, this is Swords or Voices here, which is about our thoughts and mind kind of getting the better of us and us needing to take some time out, feeling overwhelmed, overthinking. But also I'm interested, I'm very drawn to this time how they're like up to their neck in feelings. That's what's going on with them. And then possibly just being a little bit of a fantasist about this, if that makes sense. It's like they're not really taking the action that they need to. They're not as yet kind of dealing with what's going on around them. They're a little bit checked out, and they're sort of daydreaming of you and maybe hoping things are gonna fix themselves without them really having to take any action or do any work or something. Those kind of vibes, but they're up to their neck in feeling, and they've almost gone into, you know, if you think of, what is it, fight, flight or freeze, that they've almost gone into freeze or flop is what you call it as well. So they're not dealing with this at the minute, Kuntry. Let's see what the future holds. But they will deal with it. They will take some action. Ace of Inspiration. I'm really glad to see this. Ace of Inspiration is wands, okay? So it's fire energy. Through all this water, it's nice to see some fire kicking up the dust, some change, some kind of fresh movement, some fresh inspiration. Ace of Inspiration. New ideas, new thoughts coming to you as well. I feel like this is your energy as well. Kuntry, sort of feeling a bit more excited about this connection. It's alive again more. Okay, so change will come in the future. All that I would say that you can do is, you know, the expression, you know, we keep our side of the street clean. That's all that we can do. Their side of the street is up to them. And so we just need to, you sort of manage your half of feeling overwhelmed. I know you did touch on the attachment issue, sort of maybe anxious attachment style. However, I would say, you know, if someone goes quiet on you and grows distant, it's completely natural and normal for that to bring up anxiety. So it's not normal what you're feeling. That's just like a human normal reaction. But at the end of the day, all we can do is still try to manage that anxiety and not act on it, and do what we can to distract ourselves, keep ourselves together, keep ourselves centered, keep ourselves grounded. Understand his point of view, that I think it's, you know, the depth of emotion is certainly there. He's feeling overwhelmed. He's kind of checked out at the moment. He's up to his neck in feelings, and I'm trying to think of the right word. I know you know what I mean anyway. But yeah, sort of analysis paralysis, or just like he's just become very still and buried his head in the sand, that kind of energy. But lovely to see this really fiery, gorgeous, warm action, Ace of Inspiration, which is going to bring in change and is going to bring in movement. So maybe like that DJ has a breakthrough within himself and kind of pulls himself up out of the water that he's sort of sunk into, and we can get some change. And I also feel you thinking and feeling more inspired about this connection. Let's see what this oracle card says, your final bonus message. The gardener. Nurturing what you've planted, nurturing yourself, nurturing this connection. There's something interesting here about houses here, about, I don't know if this will be movement in living situation, or ultimately if you're will move in together, is something that's just came through to me with this message. But with it being the gardener, this is about continue. It's okay to keep nurturing this garden, because I know you're worried, you don't want to be foolish, and I think that you aren't being foolish with this. For as long as it feels all right, you know, we must trust our intuition, and that is your strongest guide above all else. If your intuition starts telling you that this is too much and it's a drain and it's driving you crazy or something, then we need to step away from that. But the current messages for Spirit is stay centered, stay grounded, but it's okay to, you know, nurture ourselves, but also okay to nurture this connection for now. Okay, and get over this, what you would describe, I suppose, yeah, of what could be really a rough patch rather than the end, because there's so much feeling here. So Kuntry, I hope that was your reading. I hope it resonated for you. Let me know how it did. If it did, which parts jumped out to you, and please do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for choosing me to be your reader, and I will catch up with you soon. Love and light. Hey Eco7, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for submitting your question. So let's get into it. And you asked for some universal guiding messages. What do I need to know right now? So I'm pulling 3 cards for everyone and also a bonus oracle card. So let's see what comes through Eco 7. Spirit, what does Eco 7 need to know right now? So I'm going to structure this reading as what you need to focus on right now. What the universe is how are they helping you out? What are they doing on their part? And what does, where will this lead us? What does the future hold for you? And then this is the bonus. So just anything else that Spirit wants to let you know, Eco 7, okay? Okay, so what should you be focusing on, Eco 7, right now? The Hierophant. Oh, dropping that. Major Arcana. The Hierophant is, to me, always has like a very structured energy. It has a very traditional energy about needing to take things step by step, not do anything rash, following the rules in many ways is always what this kind of energy has. This is you, this is your energy, and you have this beautiful aura that is a strong aura as well. You are putting out good energy at this time, Eco 7, so that's confirmation that you're putting out a strong frequency. So just focusing on being consistent, I hope this resonates in whatever area that you're kind of hoping to see movement on, hoping to see focus on. It's just a case of kind of playing with it by the rules, playing the game even is what I'm hearing. Maybe doing stuff that, you know, you don't particularly enjoy, almost like the tedious stuff, or like you'd rather do it a different way, but you kind of like know that ultimately you kind of have to do certain things are expected of you and that are the best way. And there's someone else in the picture here though who I think is a helping hand for you, and also someone of support that is coming closer to you as well, almost step by step. A connection with someone that is going to help you on this journey and help on this path as well. So be open to this. They have, I know this isn't directly like their aura, but I actually see it as their aura in this card this time. It's like that they have, it's a different kind of energy, but it's just as powerful, and I feel like this will help you on your journey. Their path is being lighted up to you. Again, it's kind of a gradual connection that will grow over time, and they are intrigued by you at the current time. They're kind of impressed by you as well, because just by the sheer size of your energy kind of in comparison to theirs. And this can also be indicative of how much impact they have on your life, if that makes sense. Like at the minute, there might be quite a small part in your life, but this will grow and they will become a bigger part of your life. So I hope that resonates. This is what Spirit is. How is Spirit kind of helping you out? What are they? What gift or gifts are they bringing towards you on this journey? The Two of Voices. This is a crossroads. So Spirit is kind of presenting you with, so this may be happening now, or it can be in the near future, is presenting you with a crossroads, an opportunity. And it feels significant. It's a pivotal moment of choosing to go through that door or through that door. And this will kind of impact you on your life path, no less, Eco 7, okay? It may cause some angst, it may cause some mental stress. You may already know what this is and kind of be in the midst of it. Or like I say, it can be coming in the near future. Our intuition, again, your gut will tell you what direction that you need to go in. And this will lead through a transformative gateway. So once we've made this decision, it might be a bit tricky, difficult to make that decision because it will be a big decision. So it will involve some kind of stress here. But once you're on the other side of that, I feel like quite a big sense of relief and a transition, a big transition that you will feel very different on the other side once we've passed through this gateway here. At the minute, they're kind of, or if this is coming down the line, we feel kind of bound and angsty about this decision. But this decision, this crossroads, even though it brings stress, the universe, which is this kind sort of ethereal creature person behind, is actually saying this is, you know, this is an opportunity actually that I'm presenting you with. And then we had future energy. So where is this all going? We've touched on it a bit, but we can dig into it. Teamwork. So this, I feel like this person will become part of your team and things will become more settled. The three of materials is collaboration, teamwork, progress, all working towards the same goal. Maybe what has felt disjointed in the past or stressful as well, we're kind of on the other side of the crossroads. We're connected with some people who are like-minded to us. This very much feels, tell what resonates, very much feels like Eco 7 that this can be connected to your work, yeah. And with it being three materials as well, this being our work, how we interact with the world. But there's so much sort of blossoming here, and this feels so much more at home, peaceful, grounded, where maybe everything at the minute feels a bit stressful, maybe feel very much kind of on your own as well, and almost a bit restrictive even with this Hierophant about having to do things a certain way. This is more like you've found your groove and you've done what you had to do, and now you get to be more creative and more comfortable and more accustomed to it in a way, more familiar. Let's have a look at your final bonus message. The journey. It's happening for you, Eco 7. You are on this journey. You've started a journey. The only way is through now to complete this. With all its ups and downs, yeah. But this feels like a journey that you have to take. You know that you had to take for yourself. It's a journey as well that you know you are on your own here in a way. This is your path. This is your, maybe your career, your business that you are forging, yeah. And it will take you on ups and downs, but take you to where you are on the path of where you want to go. And I feel like this is, you will get a lot from this journey, and it's connected to your identity and kind of who you are as a person and who you are separate from all those other things, you know, whatever you may be, your titles of, you know, wife, daughter, sister, whatever you're, if you've got a mother, you know, day job, if there is one, you know, whatever that might be. It's kind of separate from all of that. And this is something just for you. And that's very precious and courageous to take that path and to take the journey. So Eco 7, that was your reading. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, please let me know in the comments how it did. If you enjoyed this reading, please do give me a thumbs up. But thank you so much for choosing me as your reader. Love and light, and I will catch up with you soon. Hey Devaya, my love, thank you so much for your reading. Sorry for submitting your question even. Welcome to your reading. Last but not least, and your question is, so what do I need to know about moving permanently to the river? Yeah, I know you said that you're looking at different options and nothing has really worked out for you so far. And you're wondering if you should keep looking, keep going. And if so, what's the best approach? So I'm pulling 3 cards for everyone and also a bonus oracle card. So we'll really dig into this. The first one is, so we'll just do a kind of quite open of what you need to know about moving permanently to the river. Let's see what Spirit says about that. Should you keep going? Should you keep persisting with this? I'll see what these are first. So this is what do you need to know about moving permanently. The Ace of Voices. Ace is new beginnings, fresh starts. Voices is swords. Voices is connected to our thoughts and our thinking. And it's connecting to our truth and connecting to clarity. So what do you need to know about moving permanently in the river is... got a wise owl here as well, about being, there's some clarity that needs to be gained here that maybe is missing. I mean, obviously you are feeling kind of that confusion as well. Something about in your thinking as well, about how we are thinking about this, how we're approaching this. In many ways, needing to be more decisive, because this is all about the sword cuts through the noise, the nonsense. Yeah, that's what the Ace of Swords does. But it also talks about a fresh start and a new beginning. I'm going to pull one more card to tell us more about this, because it's kind of brought through an energy signature. But I feel like I need more to make sense of it fully. We have some prayer flags here, so I don't know if you are praying on this, meditating on this. Have you done this to get some clarity, to get some information that from yourself, really from the inside, if that makes sense, about to feel more clear about what you want to do? That's jumped out. An awakening here, Major Arcana. And this is, it has a similar energy here. You see how this light bursts out of, this is you, about your thinking in your mind. There's some kind of epiphany, because an awakening card, this is very much having an epiphany moment of knowing what you need to do. And I feel like this is needed. This is either incoming in the near future, or you need to focus your energy on having this epiphany. And we have these epiphanies, these knowings about getting clear, or how we can work towards opening ourselves up to that, is through sitting, meditating, holding space for that answer, intentionally sitting down and connecting in some way to your higher self, Devaya, about this breakthrough moment, this thought, this clarity about what it is that you need to do. Could also be about some incoming information, a missing piece of information that will come through that will bring you some clarity as well. But I feel like you really need to intentionally work towards this moment of knowing. I know that sounds quite ambiguous, but there is lots of, you almost like need to find your own voice in this. And if you feel very clear about what it is that you want, I feel like that's what will allow it to come through. There's some confusion, muddy in the water about you not really knowing or not really listening to that inner voice that is telling you what you really want. The second part though is what spirit, I suppose, thinks about if you should continue looking. This is really, spirit is saying, you know, you need to tap into your knowledge and your inner voice that is trying to speak to you. But what does spirit say about the move? Seven of inspiration, continue to hold space. So spirit is asking you not to give up on this. Look at this person again, what we say, hold space for this, that light coming through again, this kind of breakthrough moment, this epiphany. Maybe an opportunity will come through and it'll make sense and it'll be like, that's the place where I'm supposed to go. It makes sense now. You know, this information comes through, this opportunity comes through about somewhere to an actual house, you know, space close, you know, to at the river that comes through. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of effort to do this. Can you see how much force and energy that this woman is having to use and strength to hold space here, to stop this kind of darkness folding in on her and kind of you giving up on this? So spirit says, I really feel strongly that spirit is saying, for now, we need to hold space and wait for this clarity and this breakthrough moment that is coming, either a combination sort of from within you, something rising up, or from also an external piece of information that's been missing that will make it make sense and become clear about what you need to do. I'm sorry if you can hear drilling, it's the renovations. I hope it's not too disruptive. So, and finally, so it is telling you to hold space, hold strong, be stubborn even. This has a really stubborn energy. But anything else about in the best approach that you can take here, Devaya? It feels like a big decision. It feels complicated. It feels like it's okay for it to take time. It's a process. Taken quite a lot from you maybe already, so maybe that's got you thinking it's not for you, but I don't feel like this is the case. I feel more it's about being a bit more dogged and persistent. Yeah, but anything else that spirit could give advice on how Devaya should approach the situation? Nine of inspiration, holding your ground again. You know, being so stubborn. The nine of inspiration is when someone is feeling, which maybe you are very quite weary with this situation. You know, you've had sort of some things that haven't worked out, yeah, some trial and errors, some what feels like maybe failure. And it is very easy to fall into that thinking of that if something doesn't work, we try and it fails, that it's like not for us. Sometimes that is the case, but more often than not, it's actually just about being persistent and being dogged and trying again. You're also closer than you think, which is nice because the 9 is just before the 10. The 10 is when you get to put this burden down, Devaya. The 10 is the closure on this chapter of this struggle period. You've been on the struggle bus with this situation, yeah. So easy to feel that we're doing something wrong, that we shouldn't be doing this, that we should give up. Spirit is saying, no, that's not the case with this. You need to go in for another round of it. You need to keep trying, and you will have a breakthrough moment, and you will get to that 10 you are closer than you think of getting to that 10, and then you can put that burden down. One final, because I'm pulling oracle cards, I felt drawn to pull oracle cards for everyone. So I'll pull one for you, Devaya, just to leave it open for Spirit to bring any final messages for you, Devaya, that Spirit wants you to know today. New directions. There you are. You are heading in a new direction. There is movement. There is change. This is like a dandelion, which is like excuse me, kind of represents time. You know, when they call it, what's the expression of it? Like it's like a dandelion sort of clock. So I just had to look that up to make sure I wasn't losing my mind there. So with the fluffy dandelion seed head is often nicknamed a clock. This is because in the past children blew at the seed head and imagined they were telling the time by counting how many puffs it took to blow the seeds away. I knew I remembered something about that. So this is, to me, is about trusting the divine timing, really, Devaya, with this. And essentially the whole message being sort of what has come up a few times throughout this reading. Now is the time to persist. Now is the time to trust in divine timing. You will head, this is you heading in a new direction. It will happen. So hold this space, keep looking, stand your ground. You are closer than you think as well, Devaya, to having this kind of breakthrough, epiphany moment and getting clarity, which has been lacking. What I would say, like we touched on, in the meantime, whilst you're waiting for this change, this breakthrough, is make sure that you're tapping into your intuition about what it is that you really want as well, if there's confusion within you. But Spirit's message definitely is to carry on looking for this and persisting with this journey. It wants to take you in this direction, I believe. So there we go. That was your reading, Devaya. I hope it did resonate for you. If it did, please let me know how. Just leave that in the comments. And if you enjoyed this reading, give me a thumbs up. But thank you so much for letting me read for you. Love and light, and I will catch up with you soon. Take care.